I think she said we have it. She's having somebody do some stuff now, and so then we'll try to see if we can get somebody to bring that out to you. Okay, thanks, bye. Huh? Oh. Okay, so did you want one or two, you said? Okay. All right. Okay, cool. I will call her and tell her you want her to. Okay, thanks. Okay, bye. All right. We're heading out, so.
I think we're going in the chief's office. I need to get the restroom real
So
quick.
much.
Is he in there?
Did you
Yeah,
do that
he's in there.
kicking thing or
All
not?
right, give me a second.
All right.
Oh, you did? Yeah. We're going to mess her up for you. Yeah. And then where you heading to?
I'm not sure yet.
Oh,
Through the East Coast and down south.
East Coast. Wow.
That's like north is where we're from.
Oh,
We gotta go
okay.
say hi to our fans.
Yeah.
Mel's trying to tell me I got till mid-March.
Or to change your mind. Yeah. In case you do. Okay, well, you take care.
Merry Christmas.
Bye. Merry Christmas to you too.
Who's that? Oh, yeah. Why did he go now?
Where?
Yeah.
Or why? He said he's from the north.
Oh, that was
East-
I thought
yeah, that was
I thought
him.
he was the kind. I thought he was one of those workers for security.
Oh.
That's why I did. Look.
Oh. Yeah. He just did the Kiki Shield thing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of
That
them.
was a
So.
good one.
Yeah.
We
Shit.
always swoop up when we get down.
Yep.
Hey, Terry, excuse me. Can I get a pad of paper to write on? And a highlighter, if you may. Do you have it?
I have the highlighter on my desk.
Thank you.
So you can pick which one you want. I don't know what color or
This is
colors.
fine. Thank
Okay.
you. All right, you ready?
Ready.
Chief, you ready for it?
How's the drama?
Are we? Oh, it's good. Very good.
What do you want, Chief?
Good stuff.
Oh, Chief.
Thanks for the email on
You have that?
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. I got briefed on the AWDW Phoenix and the suspects in
Yeah.
TK, so appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
So,
How you doing, Chief?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Welcome to the Ohana.
Oh, appreciate it.
You guys ever heard of Cava? Do some research.
What'd you say? Cava?
Cava. It's a
Cava.
drink.
Okay.
Polynesians used to do it when they're preparing to get together, go to battle. You drink with the armies, get the warriors ready. It's all natural. It's beautiful.
It's nothing like the
There's no liquor in it.
it's,
It's just you just get mellow. You know.
you know
Get
where
some.
the assassin comes from?
Huh?
You know where the word assassin comes from?
Nowhere.
So in Persia, they used to do hashish
Oh.
before they'd go on killings, hence the word hashisha.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Wow, look at that.
Well-
So teaching each other.
One day I'll go make a bucket for us so we can get together and just, it's a literal bucket. I used to run the riot squad, and every time after a big ops, instead of beer, I'd order Samoans, so there'd be buckets lined up of kava. And all natural, so there's no DUIs, no getting drunk.
You want to start, Deputy?
If you like. Yeah. Hey, I got it. First of all, thanks for taking the time to meet with us.
Oh, I'm sorry it wasn't sooner.
Pardon me?
Sorry it wasn't sooner.
Oh, that's okay. Sorry. I know you're busy and things like that. And, the chief had shared, he wanted us to take some time to go over the responses that you sent us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
And kind of talk about that.
Sure.
And then just kind of, story, is it story?
Talk story.
Talk story, man.
Yeah,
Talk story, man.
Talk story about just some other things. So how
Okay.
about this? Tell us a little bit more about you. And if you don't mind, I mean, just give us a little bit more of, you know, who Clyde?
No, you know,
Assistant Chief Clyde
not,
Holokai.
not that I don't, not like I don't mind, but the complete opposite. I think this is really important for you guys to. I think this is really important. I appreciate you asking.
Okay.
I really do.
All right.
So, I got 28 years in the department. I served pretty much everywhere.
Okay.
Vice, CID. I was one of the first school resource officers. I have 3 kids.
3 what?
3 kids, 2
Okay.
girls and 1 boy.
Okay.
And I love what I do, man. You know.
How old are your kids?
My boy's 14, middle daughter's 16, and my oldest is 25.
Oh, wow.
She just got her bachelor's up in Washington State. My middle girl is up at Kamehameha. Thank you. And she's looking at college, and my boy is a wrestler up at the school over here at Baldwin.
Okay.
So I run a faith-based jiu-jitsu program called Fight for Life. We've been doing it for about 20 years, where we take disadvantaged kids from the street and adults with problems, and we train them in jiu-jitsu, and we read scripture, we read the word, and we do it right in the middle of what we call our problem area, Happy Valley.
You got a facility or something? Or?
Yep, we have a school,
How does that work?
5 in the morning, that's where I got this.
A school?
Yeah.
So you say it's faith-based?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. So, like, so do you have like a church sponsor it?
Yes.
Or they pay
In
for
fact,
it, or how do they? How
you
do they do
guys,
that?
you guys know the church. It's Grace Bible.
I don't know.
I thought you guys didn't meet Pastor Eddie. I thought you guys
Yeah,
met Pastor.
okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. About
Yeah.
Also,
Okay, okay.
Grace Bible Church.
They sponsor me every month.
So they cover your. They pay for the people to come, or how does that work? Or they pay for the facility, or
They give me a monthly donation for those that cannot help pay.
Also, the others have to pay.
Some depend, and we keep it low. It's like $45 a month.
Right.
Other places you're gonna pay anything from $100 to $200 a month.
Do you have a dojo or something?
Yes.
Or do you have a studio?
Yes.
And is that in the church, or is that your own?
No, it's my own.
Oh, okay.
Right up in Happy Valley,
Okay.
right up there, about 5 minutes from here.
So is it a non-profit?
It's not for profit technically. That's the
So is it
federal ID.
501c3?
No, it's just one level below. One level below. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So with that, we before COVID, we were doing Special Olympics fundraiser every year with police versus the firemen, submission grappling. All the money would go to the kids up at the EL Theater. We haven't won yet. I'm hoping to change that.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, man, I love being a cop. I'm not the most smartest guy, not the smartest guy out there, but God has his hand on my life and in the department, and that goes without saying. So I'm here, man. Let's do this. You know, looking forward to, honestly. We have an opportunity here to do something good, and I'm looking forward to. I think change is good. I really do, and
It's good to hear that.
I think
this is a big change. You know.
it is a big. It is.
How do you feel about it? I mean,
Be honest.
Okay.
I'd rather you be honest.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
How do you
Because
feel about this?
if you're not honest,
we're in a lot of different things, and
again,
you are, you know, if you're, you know, the Chief and I were discussing this, you know, and he pointed out in an observation, which is kind of obvious to both of us, you are our most senior, you know, commission person here, right? That's going to be left when everybody leaves.
Yes.
You know, you got Ramos gone, obviously Tiffany, Dean, Jakubczak's leaving, and so after that, it's you standing as the most senior person with this agency on the commission side, and so, you know, it's important. We have to hear from your mouth to our ears where you're at with this. What do you think?
I love that you asked me that. Thank you, because this is the only way we're gonna move forward. I'm gonna be real honest that it was a shock, but especially I was supposed to be the deputy if Vic got it.
Oh, so you would have been
But-
the deputy if Vic would have got, that
But
was the plan?
yes.
So you're a little disappointed.
Well, yes and no. I love where I'm at. I love being in the ISB. I'm back home. So yes and no.
Where are you coming from?
SSB, which is the support services. I mean, I was familiar with that too because I did a lot. I came up in training.
Hold on. on. I'm just, you're going
Sorry.
a little far. I
Sorry.
want to stay with it, if I may, Chief. So you were in SSB.
Yes, sir.
And now you're where?
ISB, Investigative Services.
ISB. How long you been there?
And ISB?
Yes, sir.
Just since Vic retired. I took
so
over his
just
bureau.
like a month or two?
Yes, sir.
2 weeks.
2
Yeah,
months?
yeah.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
1 month?
No, December 1st, so yeah, 2
Oh,
weeks.
so, 2 weeks.
Yes.
All right.
But throughout my whole career,
Who made that decision? Dean?
well, yes, but usually common practice has been the senior AC takes ISB because it's, I'm not going to say the most important, but it's the bureau that you deal with the biggest investigations.
Okay, so I apologize. I think I jumped in. So you're a little disappointed because, if Vic would have got it, you would have been deputy.
Yes and no. No, because I don't like dealing with politics, and I know that seat is going to be a lot of politics. So on that point,
I'm confused. You didn't want to be deputy?
no, I did.
Oh.
If Vic had gotten it, I would have been his deputy, and I would have done my best to support him and effect whatever change we need to effect. I am not disappointed in the fact that I know with that comes with politics, and I would not have. I just want to be a cop, man. So yes and no.
Okay.
So, how do you feel? Well, so one of your questions that not we, but the chief asked you. Well, I didn't say we because it was a response. He said he wanted you to CC both of us. One of the questions he asked you was, advise which captains you believe should be considered to serve as acting assistant chief and why. And you basically just listed all 9 captains.
Everybody has their attributes in different areas.
Hold on. Assistant Chief, let me ask the question. So, do you advise which captains you believe should be considered to serve as Assistant Chief? Now, what you're saying now is, I'm a little confused because it's only 2 spots,
Mm-hmm.
right? Once Jakubczak leaves, we're trying to understand. And for me, it doesn't seem like you answered the question. So when I read it, I was like, he's not telling us who should be considered. So I'm a little confused. We're trying to, so you follow what I'm saying? We can't pick everybody.
No, I know that.
He can't pick everybody.
I know that.
So we're trying to rely on, I think he's trying to rely on your expertise to help us to say, here are the top 2 or 3 that I think should, and we're just saying acting because we understand the process that we have to interview, but at the same time, he has to select 2 people that he really doesn't know, just like we don't know you, and not saying but we have you, you're in place. These are your colleagues that he has to come alongside you. So we're asking as that senior guy, and you would have been the deputy, maybe we should ask in a different way. Who would you and Vic pick as your 3, maybe that makes it easier for you. Who would you and Vic consider if you had to pick 3 folks? So I'll say 3 because we're assuming now you're deputy. Who's those 3 that you would have placed in acting? Not necessarily just say, because I want to respect the process, and I know the chief does, but who are those 3? Because this is not answering that for him. I'm not trying to put,
No.
It's not answering for me. I'll say that for me, and I can't speak for him. But when I asked him, I said, Chief, did you get the answer you were looking for? And he said, he basically, Charles, you're seeing the same thing I'm seeing. He didn't answer my question, Charles. That's what he tells me. And he said, would you have responded like that, Charles? I said, no, sir. I said, we got an assistant chief that's not answering what, he needs. And so, this is not acceptable as far as what we need clarity, because you just talked about the change and it's tough. He's in a tough position.
And I don't want to give email. I appreciate. Here's the thing. I was 3,000 miles away. I'm trying to do a transition. So let's go back, if I may. October 5th, I get announced as the final candidate. I knew my background was fine, to understate it. I had not an issue. So I knew November 3rd would be what November 3rd was. So we've had 2.5 months, if you will, or 2 months and 10 days, that from the time that got announced to the time I'm coming here. And I used some of this as a barometer. I waited till November to the final confirmation meeting took place before I had sent this out. And I know that there was a shakeup. Let's not sit here and what does this mean? And you know, it's I get it. I do get it. So this, you know, was reaching out to say, hey, I'm going to ask everybody what's working, what's not, how can we improve. I sent you the email first before I sent it to anybody else because I was trying to be as respectful as I possibly could. Now, me to you, man to man, I'm pissed that you didn't bother to call me or reach out. Just hear me out, because I'm the chief.
I get it.
And I say that because you don't think I'm not busy in those 70 days trying to get some different things out. And everybody has my number, everybody has my email. And it's like, okay, so when I get this, the way that I got this, I took this as, well, here's all 9, you figure it out. As far as that. Because if I may, Deputy, some of coming here was, we're trying to transition. I had some people, they thought maybe it was in their best interest to email me yesterday, their captain one. Okay. If it takes you 30-something days to do 3 questions and whether you want a job or not takes you 30 days, okay. Because believe me, if I have to put people on performance plans, the expectation is going to be certain things are going to get done a certain way. And I tell you that because this was like finished that same day I sent it.
Yeah, I sent it back right away.
And so when you sent all 9 and you sent it like that, I was just kind of like, I was really trying to solicit real thought from you, and I kind of took some of this as, here's your answer, it's off my plate, let me move. And I'm just telling you that because if we're going to be, I appreciate you being frank.
I appreciate that.
About where, because look, let's be honest, of everybody here, in some ways, this is hardest for you. In some ways, some folks chose to leave, you know, and so in some ways, this is hardest for you. And you have to go, how are these guys going to be, you know, do I want to be here? I'm sitting down with him, I'm like, and you're be like, I don't know if I'm digging them. I don't know if I like this. And I get that. And it's not lost on me. But we have to clear the air because as we go and, you know, there's a term.
That's very fair.
Okay, there's a term and we have to, because I'm not going to candy coat some of this.
Okay.
The administration is me.
Yeah, I get
The
it.
administration is me, and we all march to the same drum. And if I have somebody that's going to go against the administration, that's not going to go very well for them. You know, and I don't like the bullshit. And let's be very clear, I know all about it. And so I ain't having it.
There's no bullshit, Chief.
No.
You've been hearing, and can I speak? Can I speak?
Yeah, no.
Let's speak freely. To me, I didn't trust you guys by giving that type of answer because I didn't know if the other captains would see it and it would create more division. You ask me right now, face to face, who I pick, I'll give you 3 names, and I'll tell you exactly why. Okay, and that's why I appreciate you guys reaching out and actually asking questions about who I am. The reason why I didn't reach out is I didn't think it was my place. Culturally, nobody explained that to you. And there's a lot of things that I think have been misconstrued, miscommunicated because of the cultural difference. You know why I stayed? 2 reasons. I was ready to go. Number 1, when you got it, I went to the Bible, God said you're a man of integrity.
Appreciate that.
Okay? Number 2, God told me to stay. That's exactly it.
Okay.
God told me to stay. I don't know you guys. I want to get to know you. Just like when you asked me. You're asking me stuff about me. Why? Because you want to get to know me. I know you're probably hearing things about me from certain people, and I get it. Get to know me first and judge me by what you experience yourself. I love this job. I love this community and this department. I'm not going to ruin it by doing stupid things. You are the administrator. You are my chief.
Thank you.
Okay? What I would like to do is get to know the 2 of you better we get a better working relationship, and walk out and present a unified front to the men and women. I love that. That's what I want.
And you know, may I say, call you Clyde?
Of course.
Okay.
Please do. Please
All
do.
right. So we appreciate what you're saying, and I want to. So when you say it's cultural, help me understand that a little bit more, because
Okay.
I and don't take this.
No,
Please
no,
don't
no.
take offense to this, because I think, as they say, you've heard it before, seek first to understand,
Exactly.
then be understood. So instead of, and I know he abides by that, and you brought up faith,
Yes, sir.
okay, not us,
Of course.
okay, but I'm not ashamed of my faith, and I don't think he is either. So it sounds like we may have some commonalities
Oh, yeah.
here
I
in
love it.
terms of where we believe, because I heard this man add to his swearing in yesterday, so help me God.
I love it.
Okay, and so I know where he stands, and as you said, I don't know you, but I don't want, I'm trying to say this the right way, I don't want folks who, let's say, potentially serve and have the same faith system to be in conflict, because that's bigger than all of it.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I agree with
Okay?
you.
And so that being said, there may have been some barriers that have been put up as perceptions that we create. I call them sometimes self-imposed, artificial barriers. You with me, Clyde?
Yes, sir.
Self-imposed means you put it on yourself. Artificial, it's not even real.
Yeah.
You know, just like some say, fear, false evidence appearing real. You know, another way of saying that, self-imposed artificial barriers. So, just as you're asking that we give you a chance, you also have to give us a chance.
You're right.
And I know, I don't feel that he was given a chance by the command, and you're part of that command. And once he adopted me, I wasn't really given a chance. And it seemed as if people came at me, who I had not done anything to, come at me just to harm him. And so, let's be clear. My allegiance is to him. If it's legal, moral, ethical, within policy which he could change, we got to do it. This is a quasi-military organization.
We got the same allegiance.
And so
You're my
he
chief.
when he says this is what happens, if it's legal, moral, ethical, and within policy, which he could change, we got to do it. It's a quasi-military organization. It's a volunteer organization. I was in the military 7 years. You have any military experience?
No, sir.
Okay, but you're familiar with it.
Yes, sir.
I was in the military. If I wanted to leave prior to my, they call it ETS, expiration term of service. If I wanted to leave and I left, it's called AWOL, and they locked my butt up. Okay, here, this is a volunteer organization. Nobody's making anyone be here. We're not here because we were forced. I believe he was called. I believe it's divine, destiny, not a coincidence. Did you watch my testimony on his behalf?
No.
Okay, well, if you go look, I did. I'm not just saying that. I truly believe that.
Okay.
Whatever that, neither here nor there. But the point is that my allegiance within this organization is to him. And if I can't have that, to submit to this man who has been selected in a fair process to lead this organization and lead this community and this agency, okay, then I need to get my stuff. I need to giddy on up and go if I can't do that. And that's what we're asking everybody here, particularly in command of positions of influence. If this is not for you, and it sounds like you've already done that, and we appreciate your transparency. You said you checked yourself. You were thinking about leaving, and you feel that you've been called to stay. Okay? So I hope, and I know what he expects, because he told me. He says, this is what I expect from you, Charles. Okay? And if I couldn't do that, I'd be like, John, Chief, I'm not coming. I'm staying in Las Vegas. You know, so, and I'm bringing my family. This man has moved his kids and everybody, and so enough is enough. And I'm not, let me be clear, I'm not blaming you, and we're not blaming you for all of this or some of the stuff that has come up. That's not what we're saying. But what we are saying, you know, because are you saying you never were in any captain's meeting?
Oh, I
where
was.
it discussed? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So and let's be clear. Since we're being transparent, at some of those times it was discussed about defiance, right? There
No,
were some people,
not in a meeting.
You're saying nobody ever brought up
I
defiance.
went to one meeting.
Okay, well, the one you weren't at, you heard about defiance.
I
You're
heard
saying-
some guys were venting, they were upset.
Okay,
I never heard
so
anything
you
about
heard some
defiance.
defiance.
The themes of the meeting was unity. And here's the thing. My reason for wanting to leave is not because of you or you
Okay.
at all. It's because I already told myself before this, if it doesn't work out for me and Vic, I'm going to retire. I was already talking to the retirement guys and stuff like that. The reason was I could look at staying on or spend time with my son. To me, there was no choice. You know, I actually fought with God about staying. He told me many times through the scriptures and through other people to stay. And I was like, I ain't doing it. I know what you're saying. Please forgive me. I'm not doing it, God. I'm going to spend time with my son. He needs me. It wasn't about it, you guys. And please tell me what you guys... Okay, I'll tell you exactly what I said at that meeting. When I went there for one reason. And it's because one of the captains had talked about doing shady things behind my back. I don't appreciate that. When you get to know me, you'll know that I am not the type to go behind people's back. If it has an issue, I'm going to tell you. And it's not about being a tough guy or anything like that. It's about being a man and working that issue and moving forward. So when I went to that meeting, I said, hey, first of all, there's no rank in this room. We're all brothers. We came up here together. I love all you guys. Secondly, this is what I heard. And I'm bringing it up. I'm not pointing the guy out, but the guy in this room said it. Okay? This is what I heard. And this got to stop. We are the leaders of this department.
Said about you, about him.
About me.
So what they say about you?
That they were going to work with him to remove me from my position. I know. I didn't think what you at all. For real.
Hold on, let me make sure if I may. So what you're saying is, you had heard about a captain that's on this agency. Do you mind saying who?
I would rather not, because we had worked it out. I'm sorry.
Okay, we just trying.
We had worked it out.
That's fair. We respect that. But so just to stay with it, you heard about a captain on this agency that was going to work with him to remove you.
Something to that effect.
But all the captains are there. As
Yeah, and I said I'm bringing this up not to point fingers. If I wanted to point fingers, I would have pointed it out. But this is the kind of behavior that we need to abandon, because it's not going to bring anything but division. And as a department, we got to come together. You know, we're divided already prior to you coming, and it's just going to hurt us. I love this department. I've given my life to it. Cost me a lot of hours with my babies. I'm not going to see it go down like this. And you're my chief, I'm going to support you.
We're not gonna let this agency go down.
I know.
That's not.
I feel
that's
it.
a non-option.
I feel it. So we have the same allegiance. Okay? God put him here. I'm done. That's it. I don't know why God told me to stay. I don't know you guys, but I trust God. And I hope that if you guys get to know me, you trust me.
That's one thing we agree on.
Yeah.
All right.
We're making a good
God
start.
put us
We
all-
both agree
Yeah.
that he puts you here.
That's a good start. So, I was a little bent.
I understand.
The other day when we were here, and you knew we were here.
Which day was that?
When you were in your 911 meeting?
I came looking for you guys after.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, you guys just gone.
Oh, okay. They didn't tell us that, but no, I appreciate that. Thanks for telling me that, because I was just like, oh, okay. Everybody, so because I was like, all right, but
May I, Chief?
Yeah.
So go back to this culture. We kind of digressed. a
Okay,
little bit.
okay, yeah. So you have the two different types of culture. You have the Hawaiian culture, which you went, I guess, Holokai, and they kind of briefed to us. So then you have what you call a local culture, which is the more modernized culture, and it's the culture that majority of the cops here abide by. It's old school, and it's the culture. We're not going to say anything unless we're asked. We're not going to speak up unless we're specifically asked. We're going to sit there, be quiet, and that's why I didn't reach out. I seriously thought, you can ask Moana. I talked to her. She goes, call him. I said, it's not my place, Moana. And I said, I would love to spend hours on the phone with him. but it's not my place. And if I'm wrong, I apologize. If I gave you the, what do we call it, the perception that I was being disrespectful, I apologize. I'm not against you guys being here.
Well, thank you.
I'm not. Now that I know, I'll call you all the time.
No,
That's the all the
Call me when you
Hey
need
Chief,
to.
remember what you said?
Call me when you need to.
Yeah, I'm really glad.
You know.
Thank you for this talk. I'm really
No,
glad.
well, no, and this is why we blocked out sometimes. So it's like, hey, 2:30, because I'm like, we gotta talk.
Yeah, because you had initially said, can we meet real quick and then go, and we didn't want to be rushed and.
Yeah, we didn't want to do real
We
quick.
wanted
Thank you.
to be able to have some
Thank you.
fellowship,
Time.
have some fellowship with
I
you.
love it.
Get to know you, allow you, if you got questions for us, this is not just a one-way communication. As I even told the media yesterday, and she didn't put it all in there, but the lady asked me, you know, how are you know, what's the biggest challenge? And I said, change. And she says, how are you going to overcome it? And I said, well, me and my boss, we're going to over-communicate. And we're going to talk less and listen more, you know, so that's what we're about, okay? That is the best man for this job, okay? It is a divine selection.
I agree.
Okay, I've watched the miracle, whether you want to call it's never happened before.
No, I agree with you.
And so I'm you know, and I'm grateful that he's allowed me to come alongside him, you know, and I can imagine how you may feel, because I've been there. I've been there when I've seen someone get selected for something that I thought I deserved, okay? So don't get it twisted.
There's
We
not-
talked about this before, right?
Yes, we have.
My thing. And you know what I did? I said, I'm gonna tell you how I approached it. And I'm gonna just be frank, this is the expectation I have of you. And I appreciate your transparency. But here's what happened. I was senior to this guy. I had more experience, okay? He had more relationships, okay? And how they say it's all about relationships. But what I told myself, and I didn't share it with many people, I said, I'm going to work so hard. And I wasn't malicious, but I said, because what my faith says is, I serve unto my leaders as I serve unto God. That's my faith.
Exactly.
And so you're familiar with that.
Oh yeah, God puts
Familiar
people
with that word,
in
right?
places of acclaim.
Okay, so I made a decision that I was gonna work harder so that they could see I wasn't bitter, I wasn't resentful, that I was gonna work honorable. Some other things happen, actually October 1st, somebody else leaves, I get promoted, I'm making more money than the guy that got promoted ahead of me. You know, that's a God.
That's
thing,
God.
Okay? And so, and guess what? He came up to me and said, you know what, Charles? I thought you were gonna undermine me, not support me, because I knew you deserved it more than me. He says, and I just have to say, I appreciate all the support that you gave me. So I didn't work like unto man. What does it say? Work like unto him. And so that was my approach, and he had favor in my life in spite of, but what I wanted it, my flesh wanted it now. I felt I deserved it. So I was hurt. I wouldn't say I was angry, I was hurt. So we appreciate you sharing that. But I'm gonna tell you something, and I think he agrees with this. I respect the culture, but it's gonna have to be a little bit both ways, if you will. And so as he shares some of his expectations, as I share my expectations, we're patient, we're gonna listen, but we're here to serve, and we're here to make this community better. And as he said, his desire is to make this the model agency, not just for the islands, but for the whole country. And I think we have an opportunity to do that. And if we work collectively towards that, it could be amazing.
I agree with
You
you.
could help us with that, and I think you'll be rewarded. I think you'll be rewarded if you do that. If you don't, it's not gonna be comfortable. And I'm not, that's not a threat, let me just be clear. I'm not trying to sound like I'm threatening to you, but, and I don't think he will either, but my style, and I know people have heard me, or people slandering, saying things about me. You've seen some of the letters. My style is you know, and you could but you'd also hear what some people may be saying that have talked to me and that I run into. You saw me yesterday. I approached you. You didn't approach me.
I didn't see you.
Okay, but I sought you out.
And I appreciate that.
Okay, I'd already been through, I don't like calling it a flight, but I'd already been through the formation and shook hands with everybody. And then I saw you walk up and I actually was talking to somebody. And I said, I'll be right back.
Thank you.
And then I said, I need to go say hi to someone else. So I was actually somewhat rude to a person I was engaged with to come to you. Our culture, because it's got to go both ways. And that doesn't mean we're disrespecting the Hawaiian culture, because this is now our culture too. We're just playing catch up. I was just sharing with him, he's ahead of me, you know, and I said, help me, you know, because if I'm just being somewhat using it as a metaphor, he speaks it better than me. He knows about the thing. He was telling me at the mall, this was the favorite queen of, King Command, you know, so he knows all this stuff. And I said, dude, you gotta help a brother out. You know, I don't know all of this stuff. It's just like somebody tell me yesterday, they said, Charles, it's not ukulele, it's ukulele. You know, right? Did I get close?
No, you got good.
Okay, so, but I used to say ukulele. I used to, instead of saying Molokai, he helped me the other day, it's Molokai. And I know with the I at the end, it's now an E, Lanai-E. You know, so I'm a quick study, and I love these islands too, man. And I know he does. I know he does. And so, but we're gonna need you. Our expectations from command is it's a mutual respect. We're gonna respect you. We're definitely gonna respect this culture. And that's why I asked to tell me more about it. Okay? But at the same time, you gotta give us some grace too.
Oh yeah.
In the sense, and give us a chance. And so part of my expectation, I know, have you ever heard the term managing up?
Yes.
What does that mean to you?
Getting people ready for the next level.
No.
Okay.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna share what managing up is. He's never surprised about what I'm doing, what I'm working on. And if I need, I anticipate the question. You with me? He wants me to anticipate the question. You know, he doesn't have to think about everything. I should be anticipating what he's going to ask me based on what's going on. And so he needs to focus on being the politician, just like Dean shared with me, which I already knew. Charles, you're the one going to run the department, okay? He's the head, he's the CEO. I'm like the COO. And he told me this. I didn't just take this. He said, I want you to run this. And as we talked about it, he said, Charles, one of my most important decisions I have to make is those 3 assistant chiefs. Because guess what, Clyde? We don't do none of that. You do. And your 2 counterparts do. Okay? We damn sure, you don't arrest people no more. Not that often if you do.
That's the bad part.
How often do you take people to jail? When's the last time you took somebody to jail?
Yeah, so that's a lot
It's
of
been years, right?
my cuffs get some cobwebs.
Exactly. You see what I mean? That's not our role. You're a leader, man. You are an executive within this agency, and we need you to lead. And so managing up is managing him, managing me, in the sense, this is what I think he needs. You know, and we're not gonna get into all of it, and it's not just because I care about him as a man and as a friend, but I want him to succeed. It's just I was talking to Melissa today. I said, part of my job is risk management, so that he's not standing out in front of a camera explaining why we just got sued and got to pay X amount of dollars. That's your job too.
Oh yeah.
That's the captain's job too. The troops go out there and just try to do the best thing. But when we want that sergeant to shut down that pursuit. We want him to do all these, but we got to manage up to make sure he gets what he needs to do what he needs. You with me on that? Okay. Chief?
No, I appreciate the managing up thing, because that's really, you know, and if I may, and I'm not saying this this is in no way condescending, it's not. But you kind of mentioned what I would define as more of a mentoring. And hey, we're there, teacher, coach, mentor, you know, and look, there's gonna be some things we need you to mentor us on. If it's a culture thing, if it's hey, this is how the department's been going on, and if you're gonna do this, just be aware of this, you're gonna do this. At the end of the day, we're gonna go whatever direction we have to, or that I think is appropriate for where we're gonna go. But that is something that I would say, hey, that is appreciated, and we would appreciate that. And the managing up, that's part of the managing up. As far as, hey, here's a potential issue. But you've got, 1/3 of the department, and you're responsible for the operations, the effectiveness of that. And so there should be things that run efficiently. There's different projects, there's different things. I'll tell you what, right now, huge priority. We'll talk about it tomorrow, but obviously staffing is huge. The 12-hour shifts in District 1, we've got to do something very, we can't have that.
I agree with you.
Our people, Clyde, our people are our most precious resource.
Yep.
And we've got a limited amount, and we've got to do everything we can, to make sure that we are promoting them, preparing them, taking care of them. And wellness is not just physical wellness, mental wellness, social wellness, spiritual wellness, financial wellness.
I get it. You're right.
There's a lot of things there, right? And we got to do all those wellness, right? All those 5 points to make the strongest possible employee to be armed to go out and do battle, because it's good versus evil, make no mistake about it. I know you know that, but we got to do those things. And so I need you as one of the leaders, I need you as a member of executive staff. Again, like I said, you have 1/3 of it, so I'm going to rely on that. We're going to have to communicate. Please over-communicate on some things. We'll over-communicate on some things. I know there's going to be decisions that I make that ultimately some folks are going to like, some folks aren't. But let me just bear with me on this. What we're trying to do with the community engagement, what that was to show a certain way of moving forward. Because there is a disenfranchised feeling within the community. Communities that feel disenfranchised will often explode at some point. It's a tinderbox. It's a tinderbox. And policing doesn't need any more exploded communities. This island does not need that. Oahu has that shooting that they have to deal with. Could you imagine if they have another bad shooting?
Yeah.
That's not good. Especially right now with the turmoil with the chief and the not having a selection. It would be awful if that happened. You see where I'm going with this?
Mm-hmm.
And so why not, move the way we're going to move a little bit? It makes people feel a little uncomfortable. That's why I mentioned, hey, I'm going to take my cover off. And you saw why I did that. Now, I may have said something else, but I have to be all things religiously. Just hear me out. I can't ever be in this uniform, in this office. I have to be everything. If somebody asks me to go to a mosque, I have to go. If they ask me to go to synagogue, I have to go. If they ask me to go to a Buddhist temple, I have to go. And I have to be as respectful to each of those as I would be for what my own personal faith is. Just like some of our mutual friends, I told them I have to go to a lot of different places, so please understand if I can't necessarily just come to yours. Doesn't mean I won't come to yours. Doesn't mean I won't come to yours often. But I just have to, people have to wonder, because, right, you understand what I'm saying? Because it has to be that way. I have to be all things to all people. I could have said, I'm not going to wear something on my head to adorn my head because my Lord wore a crown of thorns. And that wouldn't be improper either. But I can't say that. So there's a method to my madness, because they need to see me, because I'm not just the police chief for the department, which I am, but I'm the police chief for the whole county. So the person that feels disenfranchised, I need them to be able to approach me and say, can you help me with this? And if we can move them a little bit, then you know what, Clyde, we can move them a lot. but it takes a mustard seed
It does.
to start, right?
Yeah.
And so give me that ability, you know, because there are, let's just be, if we're going to be candid and frank, there are others that are still rumbling a little bit or not, hey, what's this going to be like?
Exactly.
And it's like this. I'm on the boat and some guy's saying, hey, come do this. And they don't want to get off the boat and go do it. But the guy's saying, come do this. And it'll be rewarding and we'll do some great things together. And right now they're like, I ain't getting off the boat, but I'm going to rock the boat because...
Well, I'll put you at ease right now. Nobody's gonna rock the boat. I got that.
Okay.
Okay. You guys want me here? Because if you do, I'm here.
Okay.
I ain't gonna be going. I stayed for God.
Okay.
Done.
Well,
Done. I want to be here.
So I understand God has said, be here.
Yes.
But God gives, you know this, God gives us our own will.
Yes.
Okay? So
I'm here.
If you want to be here, and I'm not trying to preach to you or anything, but it's back to like what I said. You have to be prepared to submit and serve under His command, in the sense of what we're talking about is you're given 100% on board the John Pelletier train.
Sounds like you're really not believing me when I already told you he's my chief.
No,
man.
I'm trusting. No,
And
we're saying we want you. Let me be clear. We want you here if you want to be here.
I'm done.
Now,
I'm down.
Let me be clear.
Okay.
Let me be clear. If you didn't want to be here and you carry resentment, you got to be
None.
No, I think we're agreeing, Clyde. So
We are.
Be patient with me. If you didn't want to be here, if you're harboring resentment, if you can't get past certain things,
No.
then yes, that we have no problem saying this might not be the place for you. And so that's why I was talking about, and that was not intended to be a threat, but it was just to be very clear the expectations of him and the expectations of me. Because here's the deal. It's not about Charles Hank. It's not about, I'm saying what he said in a different way. We get paid good money, okay, at this agency to serve this community, okay, to make it safe, to lead those officers, because they're the ones on the front line. We can't be in here affecting a lot of BS. So we're ready to say, if you want to call it get mad, get over it. It's a done deal. Let's move forward and handle business. And that's what he's ready to do. And one of the reasons, you notice, this is our first full day, and we're coming in, we're moving this train, brother.
Good.
Okay? And guess what? It's a train of righteousness.
Amen.
It's a train of low ego.
Amen.
Because
let's do it.
Yesterday, let's break it down for me, okay? And I think it shows his character, because I'm an ambassador for him. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
When those ambassadors go off to other countries to represent the United States, and the president is sent, he's the president of Maui Police Department. I'm the VP. I'm an ambassador for him, okay? When you see me open up on behalf, it's not Charles, on behalf of Chief John Pelletier, it is an honor to be here. On behalf of Chief John, you watch, you'll see. When I'm speaking in public, the first thing out of my mouth is on behalf of John Pelletier. It ain't about Charles Hank. He's the head, whatever in charge, whatever word you want to use, okay? And what he said, when he say jump, I say how high? He says get it, go. But he's low ego too. This is a good man.
That's what.
And it hurts me for some of the things that have been said about him. And I'm not saying by you, but we just being very clear that some of the stuff that's come out, and we just want to clear the air. And I call it like this. One of my little things, and I stole it from someone. but it is part of my creed of who I am. I get mad and get over it. You know, so I don't harbor resentment because I've been forgiven for the wrongs that I've done. And so
Amen.
I'm
Amen.
about forgiving. And so I will tell you this. I'm getting a little excited. I'm getting a little excited for what I'm hearing because I feel that's hope. Because I'm going to just keep it real. What I heard about you, okay, what I heard about you, I heard you were coming for us. I heard you trying to take. I'm just gonna keep it real.
I'm glad you are. I'm glad you are. I'm sure you guys did hear that.
Take us out. I heard you didn't want us here. I heard you didn't care about us. You were resenting it. I heard when you heard he selected me, you were throwing stuff and I'm just keeping it real. Okay. So the thing is, and then you know we're reading, we're hearing the different things, we're seeing letters, all of these types of stuff, and all of this. We're hearing about meetings and things, and it's like, damn. And I said, Chief, you notice we haven't even been talking about crime. We're not there for all of this bull, man. We're here about business. So the thing is, we're going to be about the people's business. And that's what he's about. And I told somebody last night, don't listen to what we promise. Watch what we do. Give us, and also give us some grace. So I'm willing to give, I know he's willing to give you some grace. I'm willing to give you some grace. And I ask you to do the same for us. And let's do this, man.
How about
let's
this?
do this.
How about
because
this?
We can gain so much from you. You would be such an asset. And here, I'm not. Don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to just be funny about it. But I don't think I'm gonna do 10 years. Okay. And so somebody, you know, and I'm not saying I won't, but I'm just not really looking for 10 years. All right. However, so you never know. You know, things could come up, health issues. I'm fine. I wouldn't be. But I'm just saying, I don't know what's in God's plan, and neither do you. But I do know one thing. Right now, this is where we're at today.
Amen.
And I believe God has him here. He has me here. He had us here. We're having it, as you brought up God. And,
Amen.
And I appreciate you bringing that up and being comfortable with that. But let's do this. And so I'm grateful that you're allowed. It sounds like you want to give us a chance. You know, it sounds like you acknowledge I appreciate you being transparent. You acknowledge you did have some resentment. That's fine. We appreciate you being honest with that. But I also appreciate, and it sounds like you're saying you're ready to move on.
It's a done deal.
No.
Right?
If I may answer your question, thank you, Deputy, because I appreciate that. I thought that was good. This is not what I necessarily expected. I don't know what you expected, and I'm glad we opened up with asking about you. I'm glad we did that. There's a word, and I don't know it exactly right. I'm a big fan of not saying it unless I know it right. But it's like a sit down, a man to man, like a something pono.
You did it right. You did Ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono, okay. So this is an Ho'oponopono, a little bit, maybe.
You know what I'm gonna help you out with?
Yeah.
There's a sergeant in Lahaina. He teaches our dispatchers how to speak Hawaiian.
All right. Well,
Before you go meet with these Hawaiian activists, you gotta sit down with them.
all right. All right. We'll do it. No, we'll do that because listen, I'm not like you said. It's slow ego.
So-
Okay. And so here's what I want to. I know you're chomping at the bit to say something. So let me say this because you asked, hey, do we want you here? Fair question. So let me give you a real answer. I'm so excited with how you came in and how we chit-chatted and how we talked a little story, but how we really got to at least kind of crack that ice, that I can tell you this, I can look you in the eye, I can tell you man to man, I want you here, I need you here, I may put you in a role that I think is more important than the one you're in now, but just bear with me because there's things I have to kind of look at and gauge, but I need you to help move this place forward. I'm not going to flush everything out and say, oh, let's do that. And there's folks that are, he needs all of us captains. No, because I can actually make lieutenants ACs. I don't want to do that. I really don't. I want to teacher, coach, mentor, and develop people. But Clyde, you got knowledge, skills, and abilities. You understand multiple facets of the organization. You've got certain relationships. And so you came in, you said, I'm on board, I'm in for this thing. So to answer your question, you could not have spoken better to the deputy and myself about where we are. And therefore, yeah, we want you to be a part of the team.
Can I add something else, Bob?
Please.
And that was very good. I want to add something else, because I remember I said it's a back and forth culture. So our culture, which you have to respect ours too, because that's part of what got us here, got him here. If I was sitting at the mall and my chief came up and I was talking to a friend and it didn't seem like we were that engrossed in the conversation, it was hi, I would pause and say, hey chief, this is my friend Clyde. Clyde, this is my chief. You know, so when we came up, we didn't want to intrude, but it didn't seem like the guy cared for us. I'm just going to, I don't know. But see, you see what I mean?
No, I'm glad you brought that up.
We didn't have no one, and so I was thinking about coming but I didn't want to interrupt if it was private or something. And I'm not trying to get in your business, but I'm just being transparent in the sense.
No,
you know
I'm
what
glad.
I would have liked?
I'm glad.
What I would have liked, Clyde, if it was appropriate, and maybe you have an explanation.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to make you be defensive about everything, but I would have liked it. What would have resonated well with me, and I can't speak for the chief, but he may echo what I'm saying, is I would have liked, or part of my expectation, it would be to my friend, hey, what was your friend, may I ask your friend's name?
Butch.
Butch.
Tamo.
I would say, hey Butch, hold on Butch, hey, chief, deputy, come here. Hey, this is my friend Butch. Butch, this is my chief, this is our deputy, and what, is that part of the culture?
Let me explain. And I'm really glad you brought, because this is the kind of stuff that can lead to miscommunication.
Misunderstanding, so
Yes.
help me. You see what I mean?
So 2 things.
Sure.
My friend is sick,
Okay,
like sick,
okay.
first of all. That's what I was meeting with. I haven't seen him in a year. He's sick.
Sorry.
And this is something you're going to have to face as the chief, and I'm going to speak frank. I'm not saying it to talk bad about anybody. I'm saying because it's a fact. The man that was sitting in your chair previously was not like that. And he would say repeatedly how he's at 50,000 feet and everybody else is at 10 feet.
Right that way, bro.
I don't know you till now.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And you know I'm not like that.
Okay, now I know. And you know
If
what?
you see that,
If it happens
be out
again,
talking to
I'll
me.
be the first one to step up to you guys and
So right
introduce you.
before we're around in the corner, and so we're going in the corner, and then it's the Starbucks, and then it's the Jamba Juice. There's a couple pushing a stroller, and they're like, "Oh, hey, chief," right? They seen in the news, they know, and hey, how you guys doing? And it was like literally we had that, and because I'll stop and talk, I'll talk to anybody because like you've heard me say, you know, and so. I don't want to interrupt you because you were chomping at a bit to say something. I want to give you that opportunity.
Okay. It's been brought up that we've all heard things about each other. In the spirit of love, moving forward, unity, let's all agree to just judge each other on what we see right from here.
All right.
That's fair.
You know,
All right.
I know you guys have been talking to people that, and this is me. You work, I'm gonna be your best friend. You don't work, or you're a crooked cop, I'm gonna be your worst enemy. You look at my record, it speaks for itself. We've gone after, when I was a captain of CID, we put away plenty of cops, it was dirty. And I hated it, but I'll do it again. Guys dealing dope, one of my good friends who I used to train with, hurt me to do it. I'll do it again. You know, one of the things that is working against you is something that you alluded to in your interview about us being corrupt. Here's the thing. The way I look at it.
Now, do you remember that question?
Yes, I do.
The question was overtime and managing money. And I answered it, if people are making money and brass is making money.
No, it's something else.
No, but that was the question.
But it's- but here's the thing, it's irrelevant.
Perceived or real.
That's the one.
I said
That's
whether
the
it was
one.
perceived or real.
Yes. And you said people are perceiving it, so, but here's the thing. Whether it's that, or choosing to bring people to our station who have spit in our face many times, it's not intentional. That's the way I'm looking at it.
It's what?
Unintentional.
Oh, when you bring, okay.
Whatever little things. I'm just bringing it up as an example of what, let's move forward and like how you said, just work. I think it'll hurt our department more if we're not able to do that. The three of us come together, and again, you guys don't know me. Watch. If I have something, I'll come to you. I'm not the type. I know the previous chief thought I was writing emails and stuff like that. Johnny Wishbone. I know who two of them are. One of them ain't me. But watch, get to know me.
Okay.
Get to know me. That's all I ask.
So you're saying you know who Johnny Wishbone is?
I know two. One guy is not even from here. He's from Oahu. He's was trying for the chief's position, and I know because he emailed me that same thing they posted the next day.
So, couple things. One, since I've been here for 9 days this time, I've had 3 people I've got meetings with. I have meetings with, I think, all 3 after January. I told them to kick me out because they want to join the department. But they don't want to join the department until I got here because of their perception of some issues with the department.
Mm-hmm.
Hence my answer.
Okay, fair
Because
enough.
whether it's real or perceived. Because there's some folks that have had that issue. And let me just make this perfectly clear. Why would I give up a place that I have nothing but forward advancement for to go be with something that was not attractive or ugly or corrupt or broken? No, I came to the place that's one of the most incredible police agencies in the freaking planet that has untapped potential to do amazing good. Okay, so that's why I came. When I interact with all the folks here, they're incredible people. I can't believe how amazing these folks are. And guess what, Clyde? They're doing stuff down 20%. You cut off...
Down almost 50 in communication.
Yeah. You cut off 50% of your body and tell me how effective you're going to be. You cut off... You go freaking do your stand-up without a leg. How effective you're
I
going to
only
be.
brought that up to see, can you understand how it would be misinterpreted?
Well, that's not what I said, though.
But can you understand, though?
I-
and my part of taking
Hold on,
care
hold
of
on,
you...
hold on. People either didn't watch everything I said,
They probably didn't.
or they're taking one word and they're saying, "Oh, he said it was corrupt." I'm like, no. I said whether it was real or perceived, and I was talking about what the public said to me
Yes.
while I was there. So you can't say, "Oh, you called it that," and then, "Oh, can you understand?" I'm like, no, because just bear with me. If you heard what I said and in the manner that I said it, there was no issue with what I said.
Well, I got to be honest, there's a lot of people that have that issue. Okay, but the same people that do are the very ones that will die for you. Okay, they're the very ones, the same people that are on the fence, they'll die for you. They're the ones that are dedicated to this department, and you are the boss. So they'll die for you. It's just a matter of us getting past that hump. That's all it is. And I believe you're the right. I believe you're God-given. I believe that.
Well, let me jump in, and I think, if I may, Chief, that we, because I'm on Team Pelletier, as it sounds like you are, we have received feedback from others that weren't cops, that didn't really care for that. And so we appreciate that. So I know the chief, he shared with me, if first of all, he's made it very clear it wasn't his intent to suggest that this agency is corrupt. And I think he just reiterated that to you in the sense that he
Definitely.
would be here.
Yeah.
The other part, though, is that we would hope, back to being an ambassador, as an advocate, as you sit here and listen to him today, do you think he thinks this agency is
No,
corrupt?
not at all.
Okay, so.
And I'll be more than
what
happy to
he
say
need-
that.
What he needs you to do, because you garner respect, you garner, you have quote unquote the street cred because you're here. You know, you are the local, and so as that ambassador, he needs you to help him dispel that in the sense of that's not who he is. And so this is where we ask, as I shared multiple people, like I'm bad with names. I said, give me some grace. And I think, and we talked about faith earlier, you know, what do they say? You know, mercy, we ask for mercy that for things that we don't deserve, and grace for things we, that we do deserve. So the thing, mercy for what we do deserve and grace for what we don't deserve. And so we have to give him some grace.
Oh, yeah.
in the sense, because, and mind you, because I'm gonna tell you, when we had this even come to us with the 3 guys coming to Vegas when we had coffee, and this was brought up. And here's what was really bothering me, because I was just getting on board, and as I started looking at the Maui news and stuff like that, you know, and you guys just caught this knucklehead again, you know, the second time with the Kiki operation.
Saffios.
Yeah, caught him again. And so, but guess what? What do they keep doing? They keep associating him. He's no longer with us, and they keep associating with us. So the public's perception, he gets tied in that he's still one of us, as he's with Maui PD, and he's not with us. But that's where the chief is talking about whether perceived or real, okay? You know, so we have to work collectively. And you, as, I would even put you as a lead ambassador. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You speak this language far better than I do. I don't even speak it. I just learned ukulele last night. So we need you as the lead ambassador to be on the front advocating for him far more than I do. You know, and guess what that's going to do? That's going to move his support even further. And so that's what we need from you and hope that you're on Team Pelletier to do.
For me, as soon as I said I'm on board, that's what I meant.
Okay.
Perfect.
Can you help me though? And here, exactly what you said. If you were to open up with that at the commanders meeting on Friday, it's a done deal.
Open up with what?
With, you know, maybe like how you said, it was a miscommunication. We didn't intend for it to come out. That would be huge.
So if you know, so basically
Not an
what you're
apology,
saying,
but just
if
exactly
if
how
he
you
just
said.
say, hey, it's been shared with me, part of my perception was that we corrupt. I just want to clarify.
Yeah.
And it's almost like just saying I'm sorry.
Almost.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I mean, not because it's okay to say. It's like this. I'll give you an example. I do it with my wife sometimes. You know, I'll say something like, and we misunderstand, miscommunicate, and it's one thing to say, well, I'm sorry what I said hurt your feelings, or I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
It's different. They're two different things.
Yeah.
The fact that your feelings got hurt, who cares? That's what one of them sounds like. The other one is, I am sorry I hurt your feelings. That was not my intent. So what you're offering to the chief as an advisor, which you are, okay, as an assistant chief, you are one of his top advisors, as am I, okay? You're one of my top advisors, okay? So what you're offering to him is you're asking him, or you're advising him as one of his top advisors, chief. If I may, I would encourage you to share what you just shared with me, with the staff, to say, hey, there's been a misunderstanding. My words may have been taken out of context. If I hurt someone, let me be very clear. As he just said, I wouldn't come here if I thought this agency was corrupt. I do not believe this agency is corrupt. I'm sorry.
That would seal it. That would seal it. That would be humongous. And
Figure out how to.
that would seal. You don't have to say it was
Message it.
whatever.
No,
I mean,
no.
you don't have. Are you the chief? You don't have to. But it's just.
But listen, here's the
that
other
would be
thing, too, is
huge.
I appreciate the advice and counsel, and there's.
Well, it's here. This is a teachable moment. Whether it's real or perceived,
Right.
the perception is that you think they're corrupt. So, and there it is, right there, boss. There it is, right there. You just gave it to yourself. Hey,
There's a
I said
perception.
something. I said something.
There's a
I
perception
said
that I
something
said.
during my interview that hurt this agency, and I'm sorry. I said if it's real or perceived about corruption, and many have taken that as being corrupt. And guess what? Whether it's real or perceived, you think I'm corrupt. You think I feel you corrupt. And let me be clear. The real feeling is John Pelletier, your chief, does not think you're corrupt. And I believe in you, and I wouldn't be here if I thought you were. So it's right there. It's right there.
Perfect.
This is good.
That would be huge.
This is good.
That'd be really.
Because the perception is he thinks that we're corrupt, right?
Yes.
So
Well,
this
That
is
would be,
good,
and
man.
I'm not kidding when I tell you that if there's anybody here that have been speaking out, there's been people who have been saying it, but those are the guys that are true deep
Well,
blue, and
Clyde,
they
we
want to
get it.
support you. they would die for you. You get those guys on your side. I will.
What did he say yesterday to the flight? What did he say yesterday?
No, yeah,
He
no.
said he'll die for them.
Yes, it's just they got to see it, and that's a huge step. And I know you can do it. I see it in you. Now that we've talked, I see that integrity that God has told me. He led me straight to Solomon. He led me straight to Solomon. That is how Solomon got the throne from David. He was chosen because he was a man of integrity. That's you. I can see it.
Appreciate it.
Okay, and I love how you talk. No, I mean you talk from the heart. That's what I mean. You know,
No, I appreciate it because I knew once people see him for who he is, they would.
Well, here's my goal. My goal is to reflect his light, not only his light, because I do that. I do that with my all. But I love this man like a brother. He's a righteous man.
And I think that's a perfect. You really need that.
He's a righteous
We haven't
man.
had that type of relationship
And here's
before.
the thing,
With
Clyde, let me jump in here with this. What you just did is all about how I roll and how he rolls. We had this conversation before. Think about it. I'm one with analogies you'll see you'll get tired of. You go say, Deputy, enough of that. I don't want to hear one today. No, too much story. Talk story. But here's what I say. A friend tells you got a booger in your nose. If they're not your friend, what do? They talk about you. So it's like, Clyde, did you see that booger his chief had? It was alive, man. You see that, Clyde?
Yeah.
He breathed, it came out. It went back in. You've seen this before, right? Somebody without that hairy nose, the booger goes, but they talk about you. But what does a friend do? Hey, John, catch this, man. You got some clean that? Hey, they get up and go like this. Oh, you mean, hey, Clyde. You know, you point the zippers on. You don't have a booger, man.
No.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's what he needs. That's what I need. We gonna tell you when you got a booger. And I'm using metaphorically. You know what I'm saying? But to me, man, this is easy. We can do this.
I know
We
it
can do some
can.
great
Especially
things.
after meeting with you guys. Thank you so much. I like it.
All I'd ask is, I know he's got some decisions made, and see, a lot of folks gave him the wrong, you know.
I can tell you right
I'm
now.
gonna tell you right now. Will, you can tell us
I
what?
can't remember the captains.
What's that?
The captains.
What about it?
Which ones you guys would be
Okay,
best
but we
at
still want to know
promoting?
that. And I'll be honest, I'm just telling you, I was gonna give you another assignment, okay, to read it. You know, but I think I'm so grateful the way you came in here, and I think he agrees with that. But
Sorry.
no, that's okay. You know, we got to make a decision on how we go set this up. These three chiefs positions are going to be critical. I know he's really given it a lot of thought, and he's going to talk about this tomorrow. And all I'd ask, he hasn't revealed it to me what his final decision is going to be. If you're staying where you're at, if you're moving, or whatever. But what I would ask that we're going to need from you and your two counterparts, wherever they are, that they serve to the best of their ability and give him a chance. And it may move again, because those two just going to be acting. You got yours. You're in. You know, it would take misconduct or insubordination or something to cause you to be removed. And based on what was shared today, I think you would agree, Chief. I don't see that happening. And if it did exist, it's gone now. Sounds like you're on board and ready to go. So I'll tell you what, man. I'm very excited. I'm very hopeful. And we're ready to get down to business, the people's business. We are here as the leaders of this community to serve this agency and serve this community. That's what it's all about. Cops matter. People matter.
I don't think this could have gone better.
Thank you. Yeah.
I really don't. I mean, this
Anything
could've
else
gone
for
better.
us?
Yeah.
Remember I said we're going to talk less, listen more. So it's your
No,
fault, brother.
part of me supporting you is if you as chief or you as a deputy are going to do something that's going to really hurt your image, I got to let you know.
Tell us.
You
You're right.
know.
And if you don't, shame on you.
And
We can't, we have to tell him he got a booger in his
And
nose.
it's up to you guys.
Respectful.
Yes, it's up to you guys whether or not you're going to listen.
And he has the final decision.
Of course,
Well-
yes, but again,
It's up to us whether we act on the knowledge that you give us, not whether we listen or not, because I'm gonna listen to what you say.
Yeah.
I may choose to either accept it or go a different direction.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
But just know that my part of my supporting you is wanting what's best for you, because it's wanting what's best for this department,
Sure.
and same for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
Appreciate
and
it.
like again, all I ask you, I know you've probably heard horrors about me. Just watch and see.
So who are the two? If we for acting, we know there's a process. We know we have to post. We have to.
I'm probably
interview.
gonna post, I'm probably gonna do actings for a little bit.
But who should he pick?
Ricky Oridoi, Randy Esperanza.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
let his. I'm sure we go confer on that and have some conversation. And I would ask whether he pick those two. You'll celebrate. If he doesn't, so we got to support him whatever he does.
Oh yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know, and we'll. I'm sure we'll be sharing that soon.
All right. Thank you.
Anything else, buddy?
I'm looking forward to it.
So, let me give you so you understand a little bit of where I'm coming from. So I ran SWAT for a minute. I did 57 operations, hostage rescue, barricade, when I had the command. I was a backup SWAT commander for another 80 operations, which is a lot of operations. And I don't mean those are search warrants. In the 57 that I did, I had 300 search warrants. But I'm not giving you my right. I just want you to hear.
I understand.
A good SWAT debrief. You go around and you talk about what everybody did right, wrong, what you can do better. If you notice, that's what this is. It's a SWAT debrief, but people don't understand that. Okay? Not you. I'm just giving you, this is not, I'm not slamming you.
I know.
Hear me. What went right, what went wrong, how can you do better? So go around a SWAT debrief. If it's a good SWAT debrief, they're going to talk about, hey, you said you were elevated at 7 o'clock. You know what? You were more at 6 o'clock. And you know what? You were ground level. It was only at the last, 2 minutes when we made entry that you actually got up on the roof. And if somebody crossed when they should have rolled inside of an entry, if somebody didn't have the shield the right way, if we did a distract and the one didn't detonate the right way, or maybe we used a different kind of distract, all those things really should be brought up. Why? They should be brought up because you're going to make the next mission better. You're going to put everybody and you're going to say, hey, this over here, if we actually talk about it, we're going to be a better team moving forward because we had a little bit of a discussion, a little bit of that. That's why what we went right, what went wrong, how can we get better? You're going to hear me say that. I'm going to say that to nauseam because that's going to be where we're going to go forward on. Okay? Why would we not ask our biggest critics what we do right, what we do wrong, how can we get better? Because that's where the real growth goes both ways.
I like
And
that.
so just kind of understand there's a method to my madness. And I don't have time necessarily to always share my thought process, but when I do have time to share it, I absolutely will. And so,
That might be a good one to share tomorrow too.
okay.
With the
And
guys.
the thing is, you got to have
Okay.
the courage to call a timeout. Everybody on the team can call a timeout. Chief, I need a minute, please. I need some clarity. You're going to have to take that initiative. You know what does initiative mean to you? Because and I'm not saying that you're compromising the culture, but he expects initiative. That comes back to that managing up. He expects a call. He expects, hey, Chief, I'd like you to consider me for deputy. He wants initiative, okay? And I understand what you shared about culture, but it's a counterculture too that you're trying to understand.
I get
so
it.
we got to grow together and we come like this. And here's the deal. What's so special about that is if we're exactly the same. If this hand was exactly like this hand, one of them's not necessary. You follow what I'm saying? They're opposite. They're very similar, but they're complete opposite. And so this is what brings us, not only do we get this, what he talked about, but this is powerful too, that unity. coming together. And so we got to give each other some grace, you know, but you get it, everybody on the team gets a call of timeout. Now, we're not talking about when he talks about an audible and things like that. You know, we're not talking about when an October 1st situation or a situation where he now goes autocratic and just start telling us what to do and do it now, like he talked about with SWAT. But a lot of this stuff, man, we got time. Time is on our side to get it right, to make this better.
On our ESBs, or on our executive staff briefings that we're going to have, I'm going to say, hey, give me a plan. I'm going to say, this is what I want. So I give you my end goal. And then you bring me the plan. I'm not going to be in the weeds.
And
I may give some direction and say, hey, I'd like us to look at this, but here's what ultimately where I want to go. And I say that because we might discuss this on Monday, and then let's just say Tuesday you pop in and you're like, hey Chief, I'm thinking about this, this, and this, or I say this, this, and this. Come the following Monday or come the following Friday, because we talked about it, or if I said, hey Clyde, what do you think about this on Tuesday? I like to say this. On Tuesday I say, what do you think about this? And then you kind of say, well, what about this? Because it's my plan, don't mean it's the best plan. The best plan, though, is out there. I'm not supposed to be in the weeds and try to come up with the best plan. The team is supposed to come up with the best plan.
This is a nice change.
You know,
I like it.
I'm being honest with you.
I like
and so
it.
that's what I expect. There's a chance that I'm gonna expand some different folks' roles and do some things a little bit out of the box that's been done. Again, there's a method to my madness, and it'll make sense. And it might look a little weird at first, be like, what? But there's a method to the madness, because, you know, and just bear with me. You know, it'll be revealed as far as like where we're going, but it's gonna be it's a process. It's a process. There is. There is a couple things when we meet on Monday for ESB, I think I'll go into more.
Is it called ESB, Executive Staff Briefing?
Executive staff meeting,
We're gonna
briefing,
call it
same thing.
ESB.
Yeah, same thing.
Okay.
I like ESB just because we'll do that. And then I don't know if that Monday morning is as good as maybe an afternoon, because it seems like the Monday, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
But I think that gives people more time to be a little more
I'd
prepared.
rather do afternoon.
I would too,
It
because
gives me
I
time to
think-
get in here, because if not, you might be working on the weekend to prepare for that meeting. And we
I don't like
want
that.
you.
I don't want that.
But here's what we'll do.
You got 3
How about
kids,
this, Chief? Let's do this.
And I can't let them get another right hook or, you know what I'm saying?
I'm getting too old, man.
What if we, and Clyde, give us some feedback here. What if we have our first meeting as what they're doing now and ask them what they think?
Yeah,
You know,
let's
do y'all
just-
Yeah,
wanna
that's
move
beautiful.
it?
That's
You know,
beautiful.
Do
Let's
y'all
do that.
want to move it, or do y'all prefer this? Because just because we think it might
Yeah.
be better to be an afternoon,
It's
let's see what
10:30,
you
right?
guys think.
Oh, 10:30, yeah.
On
All right.
Mondays?
Yes.
Yeah,
Right here in the
so why don't we,
library?
Yes,
why
sir.
don't we do that, and then you kind of maybe help us lead that
Yeah, of
discussion
course.
too, because if you're like, because here's the other thing too, I don't want people coming in at 5:30 in the morning to prepare for a 10:30. No, I'm being honest. Come in at, the
Yeah,
time.
but
we're supposed to
imagine
come
if
in.
we had the meeting after lunch, and here's the thing, I know he told me before, he's like, Charles, I don't want any meetings more than 2 hours. If it's more than 2 hours, we need to have another meeting, another day.
Yeah, and I
He
like.
don't like long meetings, he want to keep them an hour.
I like
to
an
90
hour.
minutes.
I like an hour as a general meeting. This will probably have to be a little longer, because
Yeah.
these are get to know yous.
Yeah.
You know, like the one with the cabins tomorrow is gonna be a little get to know. It'd be a couple hours, but I gotta change it to 9:30 because the sheriff's. I'm sorry. The mayor's emergency management. I don't think it's gonna go that long. But we got there at 8:30. I have to be there. You have to be. I figure we just go to the first one, so maybe we push it back to.
Okay, so I'm being somewhere tomorrow at 9:30, 8:30?
No, at 8:30.
You'll tell me after.
I'll tell you afterward, but I gotta push the 9 o'clock back to 9:30.
Okay. You don't
Yeah,
pay-
I know.
you
No, I'm just mentioning
Okay,
it so
no
that we
problem,
can,
I'm
so we
there.
can push that out. So
Okay,
we can push
whatever,
that out.
just tell me what I gotta do. All right.
Hey, what's your number, Clyde?
Two
And is that the number you answer?
all the time. Yes, sir.
268 And just one thing, Clyde.
Yes, sir.
I know he doesn't, and he's gonna reiterate this tomorrow with everybody, but, well, I'll just wait. I'll say disregard. It ain't, it can wait till.
That's, can I get?
What else? Assistant Chief.
I'm excited.
And only because I don't expect you to have Pelletier completely memorized right now, could you give me Holokai's proper spelling?
HOLOKAI. Like the island, but with a H
Oh,
instead.
that's easy then. Okay.
And mine is no S on the end.
Yeah, I got it.
268.
2732. Yes, sir.
What else, sir? Anything else right now? Think this is worthwhile?
Hell yes. Let me just send this right now. Sorry, I got a guy gonna donate $10,000 to needy kids, and I just gotta let him know I'm gonna be a little late.
Oh, well, we can.
No, all good,
I'm
all good,
whenever he's
all
done.
good. You know what? Honestly, thank you guys so much. I appreciate the way you guys are. I appreciate this. This is a big thing, and it feels good. Let's do it. Let's
Good.
do it. Let's do
Appreciate
it.
you,
Good.
man.
Good.
Well, hey, we'll talk some, we'll chit chat.
I wasn't joking about that Cava.
Pardon me?
I wasn't joking about that Cava. I'm gonna get you guys with a bucket, and we're gonna.
Fail a piss test now.
No. Hey, no. It's
this one's for Charles and John.
it's natural.
This one's for everybody
Hey,
else.
you guys do that. All us, we call them soles. The soles are all the Samoans and Tongans on the department. It's in your corner.
Spell it again.
Kava.
That's Cava, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
You go on. I buy it from Amazon. When I was at NA, they would deliver it the next day.
What class?
267.
I was 223. I was there a lot. I actually went to Marshall over on Big Island. He retired. Marshall, I'm trying to think of his last name. But he was in 223 with me. He's retired now. He was, I don't know if you know, Dean knows him. Him and Dean are real tight.
I'm better with faces
Okay.
than names.
All right.
Oh, no, this I tell you what, I really expected something different, and I'm very
I'm glad.
happy with what we came up with here. You know, this is good. You know, I appreciate the input, appreciate the feedback. You know, at the end of the day, this is the thing I was talking to Shoko about, right? You know, is there's common ground. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that our officers are taken care of, they've got what they need, they're treated the right way, right? I mean, these are, like, we all agree on that. I want them paid more.
Yeah.
I agree on that. So there'll be things that, hey, you know, maybe these things don't work themselves out. So,
Yeah.
you know, we'll figure those things out.
I'm going to get Carlos rolling this way.
No. Yeah, get them rolling this way, and then we'll talk a little bit about that. Anything else?
Oh, good. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, Clyde. Appreciate
Sure.
you.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you, man.
Let's do this.
Give us
Yeah.
a chance, brother.
Hey, you got my endorsement.
Give us a chance.
All right.
Thanks, man. Be
All
safe,
right.
man.
Do it.
All right.
More.
Thank you, guys.
Until Terry push that to
Yeah,
9:30. Yeah.
Door open?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you. Terry, can you do me a favor? The meeting tomorrow, we gotta do it at 9:30 instead of 9, because I have to go to this emergency management meeting with the deputy